Did you know that if you want to add multiple people to a mortgage application that you can do so? Did you know how many people that you can add up to though? See, and in this video, we're going to talk about that and let's actually go right into it. So for those of you who don't know, when you're looking to obviously apply for a mortgage, you can add with a cosigner or an additional borrower to the loan itself. Okay. Typically, people just think about their parents, their friends, and usually two people on a loan application. Well, in many states, you can actually add up to three people to that mortgage loan application. All right. So let's say, for example, you all want to go into business together and you all want to buy a building. You don't have to. You don't have to do it that way. It could easily be three family members, two family members, one friend. Doesn't matter the relationship either. Okay. Essentially, have three people on that loan and they're all going to be financially responsible for that mortgage. Okay. Now, every state, I won't say that it's state based, but these qualifications, requirements could be different depending on what your situation is. Obviously, everyone has to qualify for it as well. How we do it here in Illinois, let's say, for example, that a person wants to get down payment assistance from the state, usually they have a 640 credit score. In order for them to qualify for that, all three people need to have that score. The same is true for the approval in general. So that means that if there's three people on a loan and two people have a credit score over 580, which is the minimum credit score that you can have to go into home ownership or rental property ownership, if only two out of the three people have that credit score over 580, then that third person would not be able to go on the loan. It's not like when a person is buying a car and it's like, hey, this is my cosigner, add them to the loan. And when you're doing it with mortgages, even if you're not doing it with three people, two people must meet those qualifications. Okay. Again, this is if you're trying to go for a specific program or set amount. Both of the people on the application must meet both of the criteria in order to qualify for anything. You can't have one person that's over 580 and the other person is not. Or in this case, two people are and one person is not. Okay. Same thing with down payment assistance. Same thing for any type of mortgage lending program that is out there and available. Okay. Let's say, for example, you need X amount of dollars due at closing, 15,000. You still can get gift funds. You still can get down payment assistance. Having those amount of people on an application does not throw off the other things that are in place. So the minimum qualifications outside of credit scores as well, which is going to be your income, your DTI, making sure that those numbers actually make sense, making sure that the person, has filed their taxes, they have their bank statements, their job information, all of that. Everything and everybody must meet the same exact qualifications if they're going to be on that loan. Now, the only thing that sometimes people kind of confuses people is how they want to have it titled. That's up to you all if you want to do it that way. I recommend having it at least in an LLC because sometimes, people change their minds and certain things happen or people fall out. And you want to make sure that legally that you are protected because I've seen people start off with, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and buy this house. And then a few months later, something doesn't work out right. And now they're trying to figure out, one person wants to keep the house, the other person doesn't, the other person wants out of it, right? And so, but you can't cut a house in threes. You have to sell it. So again, just make sure that it makes sense to you, the reason what you're doing, why you're doing it, what those qualifications are, and if you want to go ahead and move forward. And last but not least, be sure to ask questions. A lot of people don't ask questions. They feel like, oh, well, you know what, this is how it looks, I'm okay with this. Make sure it makes sense to you if you want to have that amount of people that are actually on a loan application to purchase property. Okay. And typically people do this when they're looking to, usually either buy a family building or obviously a rental property, going to end up, renting it out. That's another thing too, is that all three people do not have to live in the property. Okay. The bank would rather see at least two people out of the three live there, but at minimum one for sure. Everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different. So make sure you check that information as well too, to see if you qualify and the people that are on the application allow you to do what you're looking to do as well. Okay. Of course, if you like this video, you're most definitely going to love the next one, and we'll see you all there.